गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी शोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Radha Vrindavan Chandra, Radha Vrindavan Chandra, Radha Vrindavan Chandra, Shri Radhe. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladev, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Sudarshana. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga. Srinivasa Govinda, Sri Venkatesa Govinda, Venkatramana Govinda, Srinivasa Govinda. Jai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gaura Hari Bol. Guru Bhavan Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. You can keep it here. Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki, Granthrat Srimad Bhagavatam ki. You have a chair without this one? Yeah. So I don't have to, I can keep my leg. Or I can sit here. Only I will be a little inside. You can't see me otherwise. Otherwise I can sit on this stool only. I can sit. Yeah. You have it? Yeah. I like to keep flat, yeah. So these devotees are including all the devotees, I believe, correct? Kadam Krishna, Kadam Prabhu. This is from the Arjun to Yudhishthira, I think, correct, no? So who are all Nakul devotees here? Oh, good number. Very good. Big number it is. Very nice. And Arjun devotees? Good. Very nice. And Yudhishthira? Other Yudhishthira? Bhim? Okay. Bhima? You and Bhima Yudhishthira combined how many? Okay. Understand. Hare Krishna. I can sit in this one? This one? Which one? That also has the signal. No, I'll sit on this one. Take it. Huh? Which one? Yeah, you fold it? Okay. Fold here, no problem. Okay, this is good. Let me rotate actually. You can fold. Yeah, good. Om Ajnanadmirandasya Jnanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamakyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nitinamini Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatadeshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha Vande Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahoditau Gaudodaya Pushpamantau Chitrau Shamdau Tamonudau आजानुलंबित भुजो कनकावदातौ संकीर्तनैकपितरौ कमलायताक्षौ विश्वम्बरौ द्विजवरौ युगधर्मपालो वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरौ करुणावतारौ वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. See, in Vrindavan, one day Krishna, with all his covered boyfriends, was roaming. While playing different games with them, at one point of time when they were moving from one place to another, he called all his friends to show something. He said, Hey Stoka Krishna, hey Amsho, Sridaman, Subala Arjuna. Like that he's calling all the names. Hey Stoka Krishna, Anshu. We have Anshu Prabhu here, correct? No? So he's also one of the covered boys. Hey Stoka Krishna, hey Amsho, Sridaman, Subala, Arjuna. He's calling all of them. So they are all his closest intimate circle of friends. And he said, Pashyate etan mahabhagan parartai kanta jivitan. He's saying, Pashyata means look at. Etan mahabhagan. Look at this magnanimous tree, he's saying. Pashyate etan mahabhagan para artair ekanta jivitan. It lives only for the welfare of others. It is not selfish at all. It's completely selfless. See, a seed extinguishes itself for giving benefit to the world as a big tree with all kinds of various gifts. Similarly, he said, Pashadetan, Mahabhagan, Parartai, Ekanta Jivitan. And then he said, what are the tree does? Vata Varsha Tapahiman, Sahanto Varayantinaha, he said. Sahanto means tolerating, Varayantinaha. It gives shelter to other living beings. And then subsequent verses he told the various things that the tree does. Here he's saying Vata, Varsha, Tapa, Himan. Himan means ice and snow, chill, cold winter. And Vata means wind. Sometimes there are storms, cold winds sometimes. Varsha means rains, yeah. Tapa means summer. So in summer it is very hot, but a tree gives shade to the people below, correct? No? And sometimes it's heavy rain, people run to a tree to take shelter of a tree because sometimes on the road it's very heavy rain. Under the tree there is a shade. Yeah. And also similarly, when there is a chill, cold winter, the tree takes all the cold on himself, and below the tree is warm. Just like the river also, water is warm in winter and cold in summer. Amazing, no? Unlike the syntax tank, which is cold in winter and warm in summer. Like in summertime, when you have a syntax tank at the top, it gives you hot water without putting geyser on. But you never ask for it. Correct, no? And cold winter you get chill cold water you get. Whereas in river you get the opposite. When winter you want what water? Warm water you want. That you get in river. Because that is Krishna's creation is natural. And man's creation is artificial. Correct, no? Yeah. Like you eat a mango, it's very natural. You eat a fruity, there is no mango there. In fruity, it's only starch. In starch, they put some orange color and they make it little pulpy. And they add some, additives and things like that. It looks like mango juice. It's not even a drop of mango is there in there. Rasna. It's all chemical. So, but natural, therefore I say Krishna's creations are all like Yashoda and man's creation is Putana. Isn't it? Putana also looks very attractive. Later on she reveals her dangerous form. His Holiness Bhaktirasan Maharaj was telling, when we were talking, he said between, he was telling, what was the place? Correct, between Hawaii and Japan. He said there's a huge amount of all the plastic waste, polyvinyl waste, everything put in the ocean. Like a big island it is. And the island is 1.5 kilometer deep, the water. Can you imagine? Such a huge quantity. He said, man thought at least we can dispose it there. All the disposable, the uh, uh, organic waste is merging with the Panchamahabhut, isn't it? Whereas the plastic waste, it doesn't easily, this thing is non-biodegradable, correct now? So man has accumulated that. But then Maharaj said recently they found out that although they have thrown it in the ocean, there is a microplastic, very fine plastic coming out of that, and it is mixing with the ocean, he was telling. So many aquatics which drink that water, they die also. Plus, when man who takes bath in the water and everything, these microplastics not only go into his mouth and nose and eyes and ears, they go into the brain. Can you imagine? And they cause innumerable diseases. Because microplastics are very fine, they can enter into your brain also. So he was saying. So therefore he said, smart idiots, he said. you know. So man's creation is like that. Whatever man does, he causes trouble to himself and others. Kshayaya jagato ahitaha, Krishna says. Etam drishtim avashtabhya nashtatmano alpabuddhayah prabhavanti ugra karmanaha kshayaya jagato ahitaha, is saying. Actually, man creates ugra karma. Ugra karma means working on 3 shifts, isn't it? First week, first shift, second shift, third week, and fourth week you collapse. So he creates this kind of karma, man, foolishly. God has kept you wake up with the sun and sleep with the sun. That is God's plan. Man's plan is just opposite to God's plan. God says, drink cow's milk and be healthy. Man says, I will slit the throat of the cow and eat cow flesh. That is man's plan. Man's plans are foolish. So man's plans are foolish and selfish and ultimately destructible for oneself and others. This is man's plan. But God's plan are most intelligent and sustainable. How amazing, you can eat a banana and give the banana cover to the cow. And cow will happily eat it and give you milk. Isn't it? So anything waste left? This is Krishna's plan. And you take a plastic cup and you drink water, and then that's waste remaining. And that you throw it in the ocean, that's going to create microplastic and create so many complications. So here Krishna is telling God's creation is extremely selfless, extremely selfless. Because you will see the sun has been emanating heat and light for millions and millions and millions of years. We are all taking advantage of the sun. Earlier, man was only taking heat of the sun and light of the sun. Now they also are putting solar panels now. You are converting it into electricity. Correct, no? And you can use the electricity for even charging your cars. Nowadays there are electric cars everywhere now because petrol, diesel is getting scarce now. So you can charge. So you are going to use electricity for thousands of appliances, but you are drawing from where? The sun. You can see sun keeps on giving, and it doesn't diminish at all. That's why it's said Ashesha Teja. It is said, So Ashesha Teja means he has unlimited amount of light and heat are emanating from it. Similarly, the cloud shower, rain, the sun gives heat and light, and you can see that the earth gives you crops. That is why even in villages you see people live happily because there is not much expenditure. If you have a small piece of land, also 1 or 2 acres, people can get vegetables, fruits, cereals, spices, everything out of that land. Correct, no? Correct. The basic thing. That's why in villages the expenditure is much lesser. And even to build a house, they build a mud house. Correct, no? Take the mud only and make house. You make mud walls, and to make the roof, you get coconut tree leaves. Correct, no? Palm tree leaves. You make with that. Everything you make with the nature only. Correct, no? Yeah. You want to drink water, water comes from the rain shower. Under table water is available. So water is available. And you want milk, you keep 1 cow and 1 bull. So you have the milk also available. Bull fertilizer, everything. So everything you get in nature created by Krishna. But in city, man goes for artificial things. Therefore, life becomes very complicated. Correct, no? So in nature is so selfless. Whether it is sun, whether it is moon, whether it is clouds showering or the earth giving you grains, cereals and everything. and the wind blowing, everything. So here, one such selfless entity Krishna is using as an example. Vata Varsha Tapahiman Sahanto, tolerating Varayantenaha. He provides, shelter for the other people, like that he says. The tree is tolerating the heat and the cold and the wind and the rains and everything. And then the next verse he says, and then saying Padma Patra Palachaya. Next verse he says the tree gives many more things. Not only this much, the tree gives the tree bark, the tree gives gum, the tree gives leaves. Some leaves are also medicinal, correct? No? The tree also gives flower, fragrant flowers which are offerable to the Lord, isn't it? And fruits, tree gives, correct? And not only that, after the tree dies also, still it is continuing to serve. How? You can make a table, you can make a chair. And while living, you can even cut some branches of the tree as firewood, and it will keep growing. Okay, you keep cutting, it keeps growing, and keeps giving you firewood also, it gives, like that. And even sometimes you find, yeah, there is one bird called as woodpecker, you know that? No? It hits with the beak and makes a hole. The tree doesn't say, "Hey, get lost, you are pecking me." What he says? Okay, live inside my hole, no problem. He allows the hole to live. Even for the fellow who is creating trouble, he gives shelter. And you throw a stone on a mango tree, it will give you back 4 mangoes. Isn't it? For the stone you gave, in return what he gives? He gives mangoes. That means, that's why Lord Chaitanya used the example of Tarorapi. And the tree doesn't speak. That's the most amazing thing. Even while drying up, the tree doesn't demand water. So it has its roots, it stretches its roots as much as it can and draws water from wherever it is available, without demanding others. Hey, farmer, you're not giving me water, I won't give you anything back. He doesn't say that. He extends its roots and takes as much as possible. When water is given, he accepts silently. If you don't give, he tolerates. So that is why Lord Krishna gave this example of the selfless tree. Uh, so after saying this, Krishna told one another famous verse which you will recite now. Etavajjanma safalyam dehinamiha dehishu pranairartairdiya vacha shreya acharanam sada. Well, I'll show this one. This is 10, 22, 35. 10, 22, 35. All of you repeat this. Etavat, up to this. Janma, of birth. Safalyam, perfection. Dehinam, of every living being. Iha, in this world. Dehishu, towards those who are embodied. Pranaihi, by life. Artaihi, by wealth. Dhiya, by intelligence. Vacha, by words. Shreyaha, eternal good fortune. Acharanam, acting practically. Sada, always. Translation purport by disciples of Prabhupada ki. So it is the duty of every living being to perform welfare activities for the benefit of others with his life, wealth, intelligence, and words. 4 things he's saying. Pranair, Arthair, Dhiya, and Vacha. So Prabhupada has said about this. Please read the purport. Who has the mic with you?
There are 2 kinds of general activities.
Oh, sorry. I think it went off, I think. Yeah. This is
There are
Adil 9.42. Yeah, there are two kinds of.
There are two kinds of general activities: shreyas, or activities which are ultimately beneficial and auspicious, and prayas, or those which are immediately beneficial and auspicious. For example, children are fond of playing. They do not want to go to school to receive an education, and they think that to play all day and night and enjoy with their friends is the aim of life. Even in the transcendental life of Lord Krishna, we find that when he was a child, he was very fond of playing with his friends of the same age, the cowherd boys. He would not even go home to take his dinner. Mother Yasoda would have to come out to induce him to come home. Thus, it is a child's nature to engage all day and night in playing, not caring even for his health and other important concerns. This is an example of prayers or immediately beneficial activities. But there are also serious or activities which are ultimately auspicious. According to Vedic civilization, a human being must be God conscious. He should understand what God is, what this material world is, who he is, and what their interrelationships are. This is called serious or ultimately auspicious activity. In this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that one should be interested in Shreyas. To achieve the ultimate goal of Shreyas or good fortune, one should engage everything, including his life, wealth, and words, not only for himself but for others also. However, unless one is interested in Shreyas in his own life, he cannot preach of Shreyas for the benefit of others. This verse cited by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu applies to human beings, not to animals, as indicated in the previous verse by the words Manusya Janma. This injunction are for human beings. Unfortunately, human beings, although they have the bodies of men, are becoming less than animals in their behavior. This is the fault of modern education. Modern educators do not know the aim of human life. They are simply concerned with how to develop the economic condition of their countries or of human society. This is also necessary. The Vedic civilization considers all aspects of human life, including dharma, religion, artha, economic development, kama, sense gratification, and moksha, liberation. But humanity's first concern should be religion. To be religious, one must abide by the orders of God. But unfortunately, people in this age have rejected religion and they are busy in economic development. Therefore, they will adopt any means to get money. For economic development, one does not need to get money by hook or by crook. One needs only sufficient money to maintain his body and soul. However, because modern economic development is going on with no religious background, people have become lusty, greedy, and mad after money. They are simply developing the qualities of rajas, passion, and tamas, ignorance, neglecting the other quality of nature, sattva, goodness, and the Brahminical qualifications. Therefore, the entire society is in chaos. The Bhagavatam says that it is the duty of an advanced human being to act in such a way as to facilitate human society's attainment of the ultimate goal of life. There is a similar verse in the Vishnu Puran, which is next quoted in the Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Yeah. Praninam upakaraya yad yeveha paratra cha karmana manasa vacha tadeva matiman bhajet. Yeah, translation.
By his work, thoughts, and words, an intelligent man must perform actions which will be beneficial for all living entities in this life and the next. Purport. Unfortunately, people in general do not know what is to take place in the next life. To prepare oneself for his next life is common sense and it is a principle of the Vedic civilization. But presently, people throughout the world do not believe in the next life. Even influential professors and other educators say that as soon as the body is finished, everything is finished. This atheistic philosophy is killing human civilization. People are irresponsibly performing all sorts of sinful activities, and thus the privilege of the human life is being taken away by the educational propaganda of the so called leaders. Actually, it is a fact that this life is meant for preparation for the next life. By evolution, one has come through many species or forms, and this human form of life is an opportunity to promote oneself to a better life. This is explained in Bhagavad Gita.
Yanti deva vrata devan pratyanti pratvrataha bhutani yanti bhuteja yanti madhyajunopimam.
Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such things, such beings. Those who worship ancestors go to the ancestors, and those who worship me will live with me. Therefore, one may promote himself to the higher planetary systems, which are the residence of the demigods. One can promote himself to Pitraloka, one can remain on earth, or one can also go back home, back to Godhead. This is further confirmed elsewhere in Bhagavad Gita. Taktva punarjanma naiti mameti. So Arjuna, after giving up the body, one who knows Krishna in truth does not come back again to this world to accept a material body, but he goes back home, back to Godhead. This knowledge is in the Shastras, and people should be given the opportunity to understand it. Even if one is not able to go back to Godhead in one life, the Vedic civilization at least gives one the opportunity to be promoted to the higher planetary systems, where the demigods live and not glide down again to animal life. At present, people do not understand this knowledge, although it constitutes a great science, for they are uneducated and trained not to accept it. This is the horrible condition of modern human society. As such, the Krishna consciousness movement is the only hope to direct the attention of intelligent men to a greater benefit in life.
See, when you hear purports like this, one should be able to hold the message what Prabhupada is saying. In this two purports, what Prabhupada said, in the previous purport, Prabhupada began with distinguishing between what is prayas, what is shreyas. And he gave the example of childhood proclivity. Children like to play all day, but parents want them to study. Correct? Now, even now, your students also, the beginning of the semester, everybody likes to have some fun. Nobody focuses on books. When they study the books, towards the end of the semester. Correct? No? That's why they are not able to crack the exams many times. So, and then Prabhupada gave the example of, Krishna Balram also playing with the covered boys, and Maya Yashoda comes to call them for food, and they don't even go for dinner because they're absorbed in play. Similarly, in this world also, it seems that children are more fond of playing than studying. Correct? No? One time I asked this school children, how many days in a week you all think we should have holiday? They said, every day. They said, so we can play all day. That's what they like. But that's not good for them. No, Prabhupada says that. And then Prabhupada says, prayers means that which gives you instant pleasure. And Shreyas means that which gives long-term pleasure. Out of the two, the long-term pleasure is considered more intelligence. For example, if you eat this French fries or Maida items and all, they're very tasty as soon as you put in the mouth. Very crispy it is. Samosa or chips or pakoda or bhaji, correct? No, they're very tasty when you are crispy if you're eating crackjack biscuits, whatever. But then when it goes inside the belly later on, many of these tasty items are not beneficial for the body, correct? No? On the other hand, you see there are salads, there is mung sprout, this kind of things. So they are very good for the health, but they are not so tasty, correct? No? So most people go by taste or by that's called hita book, we call it. Hita book. Book means eating. So three things are important. Hita book, mita book, rutu book. Hita book means you should eat what is beneficial for the body. Hita book. And mita book means eat moderately. Don't overeat. And rutu book means according to rutu you should eat. Like for example, in rainy season you should not drink watermelon. Watermelon should be drunk when? Summer season. Correct, no? Similarly, the fruits in the night are not good. Banana in the morning is good. The morning banana is gold. Afternoon it's like silver. It is at night. It is like iron. One should not eat banana at night while going to bed. Correct, no? So one should know one to eat. Rutu book. According to the rutu, one should eat. So mita book, rutu book, hita book. Correct, no? That's proper eating. But people nowadays eat anything anytime nowadays. Correct. Even in winter they eat ice cream. Correct, no? No common sense. And also they mix anything. They mix, what is that, custard, milk, all kinds of fruits, acidic fruits, all kinds of fruits they put in that. They put apple also, grapes also. Orange also, everything. God knows what will happen inside because God only is digesting it. The belly, all kinds of things. Sometimes our boys, I see, they have this, what do you call it? Uh, this milk is an herbal milk. Herbal tea along with khichdi. How can I take it? You cannot take it. You cannot take herbal tea with khichdi. Herbal tea, if you take, you should take in the morning, and then khichdi should be 2 hours later, actually. You cannot mix these two. But juices is all right. Correct? Huh? Like fruit juice, somebody took before the prasad, it's like an appetizer. After that, you can eat the prasad. Correct? Huh? But taking herbal tea with khichdi, my lord, what a combination. Huh? Deadly, dangerous combination. They don't know. Many times we don't know. Many times what is good, what is bad, we don't know. So people just go for taste, but they don't know what harm they put in the same manner. uh, in America, sometimes we find one girl was coming to the class, yeah, and then she also brought one boy also, and then the boy also started picking up 1 or 2 rounds chanting. She also started. She was already chanting 3, 4 rounds, and he started chanting 1 or 2 rounds. So the devotees were very happy. And the devotees asked, we are planning to make a BYS. Where do you stay and everything? And the devotees came to know that they both are staying together. In one of the flats they have taken. They said, "Hey, you're staying together? We are just friends. We are just staying together." They were not even aware that one should not stay like that. Generally, you are supposed to stay like that when you're married, correct? No? Husband, wife stay together. Here, a boy and girl just staying together. Definitely, some dangerous things can happen. When you're staying alone privately, there will be some emotional moments and you will indulge in illicit behavior. And people are not even aware. Just like people are not aware that one should not eat meat also. Many, many boys told me that, "Prabhuji, nobody told us that we should not eat meat." They have been eating meat 3 times a day. Yeah. Once they attended classes and they saw the Mrigari drama, same time everybody gave up meat eating after that. So, therefore, Prabhupada wants us to propagate this knowledge because people are in darkness and they don't even know what is right, what is wrong. Uh, People are connecting with anybody and indulging in free sex. Actually, they are preparing a body like a dog or a monkey, actually. Because dogs and monkey go and connect with anybody. Correct? No, they can have sex with anybody. Uh, a monkey can have a dozen partners. Purpose is monkey doesn't wear any dress in the body. He looks like a great vairagi, but he has a dozen girlfriends in the forest. He roams around with anybody. So, in this way, they are getting what pleasure? Stress pleasure or prayers pleasure? Prayers. But they are preparing a ghastly future for themselves. Dangerous it is, isn't it? So the whole world is like that nowadays. Crazy. Of course, even in the short term also they are going to suffer. You will see. Instantly they get pleasure, but very soon you will find they get into many complications also. Yeah? That is also observed. Even before death also they get into many complications. Right now? And after that there is a special punishment waiting after that. Yeah? So that's what Prabhupada spoke in the previous purport. In the second purport, what Prabhupada said, even the university professors and educators, they are so foolish. They have no clue of what is life after death. They think, hey, just eat, drink, and be merry. And then when you die, everything is finished. There's nothing beyond. That's what they are thinking. And that's what they're educating. And because of that, anda yatandair upaniyamanas tepisha tantriyam murdam nibaddha, he says. It's like a blind man is running towards the ocean. And there are 100 people catching his shirt behind, one behind the other, all are running behind him. That means he is actually going to drown in the ocean. He's telling all of you drown with me. That is modern education. It's like that. What you should do? Give one tight slap to that first fellow. Tell him, take a about turn, run in the opposite side, away from the ocean. Correct? No? That's what you should do. But how do you give a tight slap? People get offended if you give a slap. Correct? No? Therefore, distribute books. Some or other, cajole them, convince them to take a book and read. Then fools will become enlightened. Correct? No? Now, crazy fellows, they will get woken up. Sleeping souls will get woken up. So there have been people who have been totally, utterly foolish and atheistic and all. They have become great devotees now in a moment after reading Prabhupada books. So that is the point he is saying here that when a person is so-called educator. Prabhupada was in Russia. There was one professor called Kotovsky. Prabhupada asked Kotowski, and he was actually in charge of the Department of Religious Studies. He was heading it. Under him, there were many, many professors working. And Prabhupada asked him, who are you and what happens to you after death? He said, Swamiji, after death, everything is finished. I'll be finished, he said. Prabhupada was so shocked. Wherever he went in his lectures, he quoted Kotowski. Yeah, Prabhupada says, just see how he is a Mr. Ignoramus. And he is going on in the name of, heading the Department of Religious Studies. He has no clue of what is spirit. Every religion talks about spirit. Take Christianity, take Islam. Christianity talks about day of judgment. On that day, you will be answerable for all your karmas, what are good and bad you did, and accordingly the judgment will be made. Same thing, Quran also says that. There are descriptions of hell in every religion, descriptions of heaven also, and beyond heaven and hell, the eternal world. Hmm. You will find in Bible also, in John 3:16, it is said, for God so loved the world that he gave his begotten son, that whomsoever may loveth him shouldn't perish but should have eternal life. The word eternal is used. So in Quran also there is talk about the eternal world where you will meet the ultimate God face to face. So every religion talks about that as a spirit. Spirit means that which survives death. Body is dead, but you are out of the body. You are different from the body. But this Kotowski was completely ignorant. And Prabhupada was so sorry to see that. Prabhupada said, this fellow is teaching all the students. What will students get from this fellow? What a big foolish person it is. So, therefore, here Prabhupada says that people do not know what will be the consequence of their actions. So he's quoting that verse, Yanti Deva Brata Deva, Pitrini Yanti Pitru Brataha, Bhutani Yanti Bhuteja, Yanti Madhyajinapimam. Those who worship the Devatas go to the Devatas' abodes within this material world. Those who worship the Pitrus, your grandfather, attached to your grandfather, you'll be born in the same family where your grandfather is born. There are people who are born in the same family, you know that? Like sometimes your grandfather is reborn in the same family. You must have heard in India how people find out because his behavior, his chesta, his taste, everything is exactly same. Sometimes the grandmother is born in the same family. You see like that. And then Bhutani Anti. Those who worship ghosts and spirits, they also go to ghost lokas. Like that. Especially if you see those fellows who are doing jadoo tona, look at their face, it's very dangerous. You've seen that? How they look? You've seen that? They look like only like a looks like skeleton. Looks like they only look like ghost. Yeah, because that's the activity they're doing, ghostly activities. They are sending betal and doing black activities. They go to those abodes, they go. And then Yanti Madhyajinopima. Those who worship me, come back to me, Krishna is saying. So here Krishna clearly tells you all paths don't lead to the same goal. In India, there is a very famous thing, Yato Amat, Tato Pat. Any path you follow, ultimately all paths lead to God, they say. See, in what sense there is some element of truth in that one? If there is a ladder, there are many rungs. So there is Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, finally Bhakti Yoga. In that sense, the ladder is leading you to God. Then therefore we may say that ultimately all the paths will lead you to God. But if you are going to make different types of worship, that is going to take you to different destinations. Like you take a ticket to Delhi, you'll go to Delhi. You take a ticket to Chennai, you'll go to Chennai. You take a ticket to Calcutta, you'll go to Calcutta. You can't sit in a Calcutta train and say that I hope it goes to Delhi. No, it won't go. Similarly, worship Devatas, you go to Devatas. Worship Krishna, you go to Krishna. Then Prabhupada goes, Tyaktva Deham Punajjanma Nayati Mameti. If you worship me, you come back to me, he says. So, therefore, if you are going to do prayers, you will only get prayers pleasure, that much only. Like once upon a time, some fishes were living in a small pukur. Pukur means small pond, a small place. Like during the rainy season, you see some water puddles stay, no? So they were staying there. One fish was very intelligent. He told, hey, see, this puddle of water doesn't seem to be much. And eventually we will get more children also. More children fishes will come. A number of fishes will increase. But the water level in his body is not that big. Right next to us, see, there is a river flowing. Vastly flowing river. There's abundant water in the rainy season. Correct, no? The fish said, can we take a leap from here to there? Just one long jump we make, we'll get into that river and that river will take us to ocean. Once you go to ocean, is there any limitation of water? No. So what do you say? But many of the fishes were lazy. They said, "Arey, who will jump? Anyway, that is water, this water, all are water only. Those fishes are happy in that water, we are happy in this water, we are not coming," they said. So this fish jumped, and then he went to the ocean. Then after the rainy season, what comes? Sharad Ritu came, huh? Autumn season. At that time, this small pukur started reducing, drying up, drying up, drying up. Now the fishes found that the earth is becoming parched. It's becoming dry. The water is almost finished. They were all now trembling. That time they were saying, "Can we jump now?" They said, by the time river had gone far away. Huh? Because river changes its course, no? When it is therefore it is said, "Make hay while the sun shines." You know that? Make hay while the sun shines. When sun is shining, cultivate the crops and make the hay that time. In rainy season, you cannot do that. Or we say another one, early bird catches the worm. You know that? That means those who get up a Mangalarti, they go back to Godhead. That is my purport. My purport to this, correct? Uh, so now these fishes didn't take advantage of the river flowing, but now it was too late for them. Now they were ready to jump at the time. Uh, like the same thing happens with boys. In the beginning of semester, they don't study. They play, go to movie, party, enjoy this, enjoy that, this fun, that fun, correct? No? But then at the end of the semester, they're ready to study, but then the time is not there. They have they have made xerox of so many notes from so many boys. Now a huge quantity of material is available. What is not there? Time is not there. That's what happened to the fishes. So the fish who jumped into that river, he is considering Shreyas. Correct? No? So what is that fish compared to? That's compared to devotees. Like, all the boys studying in a college, they're compared to the fishes living in a small puddle of sense gratification. Correct? No? What is sense gratification of average boy? Go to the hotels and eat different kinds of things. And go and play different kinds of games, or play with videos, or move around with girls, or do different kinds of activities. Correct? No? And these are all like compared to that small puddle of water. Correct now. Kshanik Sukh. Correct now? It's short lived. Many boys are not even able to marry the same girl they are roaming with now. Later on, that girl will run away with somebody. And then they go for a second partner, third partner. Finally, parents give the ultimate partner. And that partner also will leave later on. And in this way, and their karmic account has become terrible now. Ghastly karmic account. Yamadutas are queuing and lining up to give special treatment. So you can see the Kshanik Sukh, it gives short-term pleasure, and there are punishments awaiting them for all these horrible activities. On the other hand, you will see all of you devotees are jumping from that small puddle of water like this into the voice. Correct, no? Voice like the river, correct? ISKCON. So the river goes, it's going to go to the ocean, it's a spiritual world. Hmm? So those living entities who took that leap of faith and came, they are preparing their way back home, back to Godhead. So that's what Prabhupada is saying, Taktva deham punarjanma nayati, mameti sojana. That is actually the river which leads to the ocean of back home, back to Godhead. Otherwise, most of the people are caught up in their immediate pleasures. Actually, the immediate pleasures may give you quick some kick or some thin, some kind of fun, some instinctive pleasure, and living entities are unable to give up that. Bhaktivinoda Thakur tells one story. One man, there was a tree which was like slanted tree, like this. So one man was lying in the tree, one beggar was lying in the tree, catching, embracing the tree because the belly was so empty, he didn't get food for 2, 3 days. The belly had become completely withdrawn inside. It was burning inside. He was hungry, nobody gave him food. Uh, So he was tightly keeping this in the tree and embracing, because of which he could tolerate the pain in the belly. And somebody looked at him and said, "Okay, I'll give you this kurumra." They brought a huge quantity of kurumra and said, "Please take it." So he was embracing the tree and said, "Okay, give me like this only." They said, "If you take it like this, later on when you take off your hand out of the tree, what will happen? Yeah, it will fall off from your hand. No? They said, "You come out, you know, come away from the tree, then I will give you." He said, "First you give. No, I will come out later," he said. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur tells a story. It has a very, very deep meaning. The story, it looks like a simple story. This Man leaning against the tree with his belly tightly embracing his sex life. People are not ready to give up their sex life and they still want happiness. They want, they're frustrated in sex life. Many people nowadays, you can see boys, girls are frustrated, they're burning, some are committing suicide also. Some academics are ruined for some people. But still the illicit sex pleasure which they get, chatting on WhatsApp, calling on phone, keeping secretive relationships with women, they are not able to give up that. It's a animalistic nature, they're not able to give up. That is like that thin, what do you call it? uh, Stomach which is burning, and then they are embracing a tree. That embracing tree is actually leaning against a woman. And then, but at the same time, they want spiritual pleasure. Prabhuji, please take me back to Godhead. How will you go back? Come out of that. Give up that activity, then you can go back to Godhead. Actually, we have had hundreds of boys who have gone through a voice training program also. But why some of them couldn't stick on? Because they are not ready to give up this bad habit of keeping in touch with the opposite sex. And then when they get lost, and then you, you should follow what Guru tells you or Krishna tells you, correct? No? You don't concoct your own thing, correct? No? So, in this way, the prayers is what most living entities are caught up in. So, first step, what we should do, we should come to Shreyas and situate ourselves very firmly and stably. Anybody who follows the do's and don'ts properly, and who is faithfully following the path, their spiritual strength will increase. They'll become satisfied. I'll show you one more. Yadrichala tejo viprasya vardhate tat prasham yatya santoshat ambaseva shushukshanai. Yeah, he's saying here, a Brahmana who is satisfied with whatever is providentially obtained is increasingly enlightened with spiritual power. But the spiritual potency of a dissatisfied Brahmana decreases as fire diminishes in potency when water is sprinkled upon it. See, a Brahmana who is satisfied with what Krishna has arranged for him. See, providentially, a man has arranged food. Providentially, a man has arranged a family life. Providentially, a man has arranged a job. And if a devotee becomes satisfied in this and then keeps Krishna consciousness in the forefront, such a devotee becomes enlightened with spiritual tej, spiritual power, he says. And what is provincial and you are not satisfied. Like, for example, the man is given a particular job. There are boys who are getting even 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs per annum. But they want 60 lakhs, 80 lakhs per annum. They are not satisfied. And there are boys who are not even having a job also. But this person, even after 30 lakhs per annum, is not satisfied. There are people like that. That means he is not satisfied with the job. And parents get him married to a very good girl, Gunavati, coming from a very good family, but she may not be very good looking. But he feels, what is this? She's not so good looking. But she's a very chaste woman. She's pure hearted, chaste, she's a devotee, and she serves husband like God. But his eyes are going towards good looking women who are characterless women, who are semi clad, one piece, two piece they are wearing in the body. And he's attracted to them madly. That means he's not satisfied with a good wife. Correct? No? He's not satisfied with a decent job. Similarly, he's not satisfied with a 2 BHK house. He thinks, oh, let me have a bungalow or a villa. And I want a branded car. I want branded clothes. So because of that greed, such a person, his Krishna consciousness gradually diminishes. How? Like if you sprinkle water in firewood and then keep it in the chula, what will come? Smoke will come. You won't get fire. So people become weak in Krishna consciousness because of mixing sense gratification into Krishna consciousness because of lack of satisfaction. Correct? No? So that is why three things we have discussed till now. One is if you are going to be I, me, mine focused. What focus? My car, my house, my job, my family situation. I want to improve these things and lead a royal life. Huh? Sometimes they put in Pune, some billboard like this. A man is standing next to a car like this, and behind him there's a big villa, and all the boys are saying, when will the day come when I can be like this fellow? Huh? I can be very stylish, standing like this in front of my villa, my own villa, my wife and my family and my enjoyment. Such people can never do any good to the world. They can't do good to themselves also. Huh? That's what he's saying. Such prayers, fellows, they will always live in misery, even if they are millionaires. Huh? Even after becoming millionaire, they will not be satisfied. Yeah. So this is one thing as being said here. So don't focus on prayers, focus on prayers. So that is the second thing which is said. Give up your foolish, selfish life, like this, like the fishes I was telling you. Don't be living in a small puddle of water foolishly. Jump out. Go from strayers to prayers. That's the first thing said. So prayers to strayers means, take to spiritual life seriously, because your kshanik sukh will not remain with you for a long time. Very soon you will be evicted out. Get out. You can't stay here. Prabhupada says here. Just like, for example, if you don't pay the rent, what will the owner say? Get out. He'll bring somebody else. Correct, no? Similarly, when your time duration in the body is over, you'll be asked to quit. You can't continue staying in this body anymore. And also, if you are stuck in prayers, eventually troubles come. Like I told you, students who don't study, they suffer when exams come. Yeah? And boys who mix with multiple women, they get sexually transmitted diseases and they get into complications. Yeah? And boys, like recently, somebody was telling me that he is having terrible sickness and Prabhuji, chanting is so difficult. My stomach is so upset. Everything. Then I found out. Then I said, bro, did you go to your doctor? Yes, Prabhuji. I went to the best Ayurvedic doctor. Are you taking medicine? Yes, Prabhuji, medicine he has given also, he said. So then I asked, then what is causing you? Why you are not getting cured? He said. Then he himself said, Prabhuji, I cannot control my eating habit. He said, if I see paneer, doctor says, don't touch paneer, but I better keep away from doctor and I eat paneer. Yeah. Puran poli comes, I cannot say no. Better I put the Puran poli, 3, 4 Puran polis I eat and put some powder to remove it. So you can see that this fellow is not following what do you call it, injunctions properly. So can he get cured easily? No, he cannot. That is his problem. Finally, I found out doctor is very good, medicine is very good, procedure is very good. Only thing is it is not following. That's the whole problem. So either you don't follow or you partially follow. Then you don't get much results. Correct, no? Like, you may not go to forest to get the firewood at all. Or you may get firewood and sprinkle water. Make sure that you pour water. Take some 3, 4 mug and put water. And then put it in the chula. Isn't it? So the fellow who never got the firewood is a lazy fellow. The fellow who is mixing water to the firewood is a foolish fellow. Because he doesn't know that it's going to give out smoke, isn't it? So what Shastras say, you focus on the shreyas, which is like keeping the firewood dry. Like rainy season is coming, take all the firewood, people keep it in the house. You've seen that? They keep it stocked inside because they know very well, the rainy season it will all get wet. Correct, no? They keep it. Similarly, one should be very intelligent. Hey, make hay while the sun shines. Early bird gets the worm. No, it's better that for the beginning of the semester I study. Similarly, now when I'm a young boy, I become Krishna conscious. So that green bamboo can be bent nicely, correct, no? Yeah, dry bamboo, if you bend, it will only break, isn't it? Yeah, old dog cannot learn new tricks, Prabhupada said. So when you're young, you should learn. Like you see, when I was in the age of 13 or 14, I was fortunate to get many different organization books reading. These are 15 to 20, many different. I was trying, and by the time I came to 2021, I could get a very clear path. This is the path. And those who take to Krishna consciousness in young age, you will see after you get old. Now I am almost 58 now, 57 or 58 I'm going to be now. So my mind and my intelligence are as fresh as it was when I was 15 or 20. The clarity, the understanding of the philosophy and the joy I get in practicing. And I don't see any difference between when I was 15 and when I'm 50 plus. Because I took it at a It was very, it was available to me at a young age and I picked it up, correct, no? And Srila Prabhupada was a family man. He had 5 sons also. But can you imagine any old man who had, 5 sons and a wife and a business? He can be so enthusiastic to go to America at the age of 70 because he was all the while practicing. huh? Even from very young age, he was practicing. In fact, in his college days, in Scottish Church College, when there were 3 days holiday was given, Prabhupada had 2 choices: to go to Gandhi's meeting or to go to Jagannath Puri. He was in 2 minds where to go. He thought Gandhi always carries Bhagavad Gita with him. Only problem is he doesn't give lecture out of that. He keeps with him. He personally reads, but he talks more about political situation of the country. On the other hand, he thought if I go to Jagannath Puri, I can see the place where Lord Chaitanya used to dance in front of the Rath cart. So he preferred to go there. Correct, no? Similarly, when he was sitting in his school days, in the class, one Christian teacher was criticizing about karma theory. Abhay was very upset. He wanted to raise his hand and correct the teacher. But then he thought, teacher is in a senior position, I should not fight with the teacher. So at that time, he saw there was one Mr. Ghosh. He had written a book leaning on the side of Christians, condemning karmic theory. And Abhay was very surprised. How this fellow has written, he's a Hindu man, how he has written a book like that? Because those guys have made him write this book and paid him some money. So they were purchasing people, intelligent Indian people, to favor their, wrong philosophy. So Abhay at that time thought that, my Lord, his blood was boiling. These wrong ideas and the foolish ideas should be, thoroughly driven out. I have to preach. Even in the college days, school days, he was thinking like that. When he came to the college days, he went to Jagannath Puri. Then, as a young boy, like all of you, he met Bhaktivinoda Thakur. At that time, he was actually married with one small son. One day, Prabhupada says, if I wasn't married, I would have joined the mission of a spiritual master directly on that very day. But he had a small boy at the time. So, but he thought, let me fulfill my duties in Grihastha Ashrama. So, Grihastha Ashrama was going on, business was going on, but his heart was given to Krishna fully. He gave his heart to Krishna completely. Even by his business, whatever money he earned, he would call sannyasis from Gaudiya Math to his business and he would give them big amounts of money. He was spending a lot for all Gaudiya Math spiritual activities. And he himself would go to the temple and he would play the mridangam for the lectures and they would tell him to sing. He sang also. So one day, there was no proper speaker available. They wanted him to speak. When he spoke, it was such an enlightening talk. So then many of even the brahmachari sannyasis started requesting him whenever he went to temple that you give lecture. So he would put the sannyasi on the top and he would sit down and he would tell the sannyasi to sing Jayarada the first part and lecture he will give. And they were very happy. Why? Because sannyasi is more worshipable, respectable. He would put them on a higher pedestal. He's a grihastha, he would sit down in a small seat. And he gave a lecture and everybody appreciated. So you can see how he was always in line with Krishna consciousness, even in his family life. So, and in his own home, he would do aartis. In the morning, he wanted to give a Bhagavatam class. He wanted his wife and children to attend. But wife wasn't interested. She would go to the loft and eating biscuits and drinking coffee. One of the days, his wife told, see, children are studying, we are very busy, don't disturb us. If you want to read Bhagavatam loudly, you go out and read. So he came out of the house. He was sitting in the staircase. And Prabhupada was reading there. So he didn't get a favorable wife. She was a pious wife, but not a spiritual wife. Not very interested. But did that deter him or make him weak? No. He had that fire of Krishna consciousness. He continued reading Bhagavatam, hearing Bhagavatam. And he understood, if wife is not going to support my propagation of Krishna consciousness, then it's better for me to take sannyas. And Guru also came in the dream and told him to take sannyas. So in 1963, he took sannyas, correct, no? 1959, he took sannyas, which means he was about 63 years old. Yeah, because in 1896 he was born. So 1959 he took sannyas. So in the age of 63, that means very good age, correct, no? At the age of 50, he became Anapras. At the age of 63, he took Sannyas. Now, after sannyas, in 1965, when he was going to America, his age was 69 that time, close to touching 70. Generally, people beyond 70, you think that is a gone case now. People, nobody respects people. If you're 70 or 80, they will say, ठीक है कहा वो थोड़ा सो जाओ हाँ? हम लोग को डिस्टर्ब मत करो करेक्ट ना they in many places people give them a cot either outside the house or behind the house हाँ? ठीक है take care of your health आराम कीजिए हाँ? इसको डिस्टर्ब मत कीजिए like that they'll keep here is a person at the age of 70 venturing on a foreign tour going to propagate Krishna consciousness. So when Prabhupada was a long story cut short, in the first year, almost 10 months, he didn't get much support. Huh? He was struggling hard to preach. No support, and money was running out. And after that, you know, sometimes Kalvakan Prabhu will give you the lecture on 8 defeats that Prabhupada faced. How many of you heard about that? 8 defeats. You raise a hand, let us see. Only a few seniors have heard. Others you can give them sometimes. 8 defeats that he faced. But I'll tell you something. After that 8 defeats, uh, uh, despite those defeats, Prabhupada survived and he was still preaching. And then he saw one boy called David. Prabhupada said, I'll make him the first Vaishnava of America. Like that, he wrote to his God brothers. And that boy had a long room. That side, he will have his table chair, and they said, Prabhupada would have in between curtain. He had put. And that boy would ask Prabhupada, Swamiji, how can I quickly progress in spiritual life? How I can get Krishna Prem as soon as possible? And Prabhupada smiled and said, wonderful. I appreciate your enthusiasm and eagerness to advance in spiritual life. And Prabhupada was very satisfied that although he's an American boy, he's understanding the philosophy and everything. But this boy earlier was a drug addict. Now one day again, by bad association, he went back to drugs again. One day when he had eaten too much drugs, he went berserk and started yelling and shouting, screaming. Came to Prabhupada's side to kill Prabhupada. Prabhupada immediately left behind his typewriter, trunk, everything, and he had to go out of the door and get down the steps. And when he got to the road, he said, I didn't know whether to turn left or right. Because I didn't have anybody else to go. No relatives, no house, no family. And I didn't have anything in the hand. We couldn't carry anything because if Prabhupada tried to pick up something, he would have killed by the time. He was about to finish him. So then he found this one place he came, Karol and Eva. These people, they were actually husband-wife. Prabhupada met them. So the Karol was very interested. This Karol, he actually liked to play mridanga. He liked to play kartal and sing. He liked Prabhupada's singing. He learned from Prabhupada. And he told Prabhupada, Swamiji, please teach me philosophy very nicely. I'll help you. He had told. So that was what Prabhupada thought, let me go to him. But then Eva, she was a feminist and she was not interested in Prabhupada coming to their house. She knew that Swamiji says no, no illicit sex, no smoking, no drinking. And she was into all of that. She used to smoke cigarettes, she was drinking, She thought that we will lose our privacy, we will lose our freedom. Why Swamiji is coming and living in our house? One day Prabhupada asked her, can you please get this in the market? Yeah, she said, why don't you only get it? Like that she said. And Prabhupada understood, my Lord, I think she's upset with me. So Prabhupada knew that she doesn't like me being in their home. I am like a grandfather for her, but she doesn't like me. But I have nowhere else to go. So he tolerated. Can you imagine? And then he never asked her for purchasing anything. He'll personally go and purchase. And in the same house, a small house, they were drinking, they were smoking. He was very polite. Karol was very polite. So, Karol understood that his wife doesn't want to learn from Swamiji. So he told Swamiji, you don't worry about my wife, I can learn from you. He was learning, but then she didn't like her husband to be in touch with Swamiji. She thought that he will lose all propensity for sense gratification. If he is too much with Swamiji. Swamiji is too strong. So, no. So she wanted to get rid of him. She would tell the husband, send him out, send him out. One day Karol understood that, she will not let him be in peace here. So then he and other boys arranged for Prabhupada to stay somewhere. So you will see that what kind of, even prior to that, when Prabhupada was in Sali Agarwal and Gopal Agarwal's house, in the fridge there was fish. Same fridge, he had to keep his potato, tomato, everything. Prabhupada saw it, he was not happy, but he didn't say anything. He tolerated because he said, I have nowhere else to go. Like that. So, one of the days, even Sali Agarwal and Gopal Agarwal, they had a party. There was only one big hall in their house. Prabhupada was sitting in the corner and doing some writing. And in the party, they were drinking, smoking, laughing, joking. Prabhupada didn't say anything. Next day morning, Sali Agarwal told Prabhupada, Swamiji, I think, you must be a little upset with our party. Prabhupada said, all right, he said. He didn't criticize it. He tolerated. When she would be cleaning the room, Prabhupada would sit in the corner so that she doesn't feel any inconvenience. And then Prabhupada told her, you all are cooking daily. If you want, I can cut some sabji for you. He said, I will assist. Then she said, no, Swamiji, we get ready-made sabji in America, in the packets. You open the packet, directly you can put it. All cut sabji is available. Everything is in cold freezer for 10 months. So that's how they eat it like that. Many times they can just tear open a cover and then you can directly get cut sabjis because you don't have to take out time to cut. Prabhupada was amazed, oh really? These guys sell like this? Cut sabji. Only thing is you put preservatives in everything. Correct, no? Very horrible. One day Prabhupada thought how I can, do something that will benefit them so that they'll be happy with me because I have to stay with them for 3-4 months. One day he cooked and asked Gopal Agarwal and Sali Agarwal, see, I have cooked something. Would you like to taste it? They tasted and said, wow, we never tasted anything like this. And then Sali said, Swamiji, you only cook for us daily. Then from that day on, Prabhupada started cooking. In the beginning, when Prabhupada came to their house, Sali Agarwal told Gopal Agarwal, why did you bring this old man, retired man? It's a nuisance. We lose our privacy at home. She was very disturbed in the beginning. But 3 months later, when Prabhupada was leaving, she was the one who was crying. She was crying. She was telling that we don't want to miss you. But, you want to go ahead with your, preaching and everything. So you can imagine how Prabhupada won the heart by humility, by tolerance, by respect, by patience. Correct, no? Because he had this mission in his heart. I have come here for a preaching mission. I have to preach and tolerate. Similarly, the one day morning when Prabhupada was walking in the Bhavari, lot of hippies were lying with the liquor bottles and everything. Prabhupada had to cross over their body and walk. When he had gone to the place of Mike and Jan, at that time the house was not fixed, the storefront was not yet fixed. So Mike and they were telling him, Swamiji, why did you come in this early morning walking through the road? It's very dangerous. Some of the hippies have a gun in their hand, pistol. Sometimes they shoot also. Prabhupada said, I didn't know such risks were there. He was not even aware. That means, in his old age, he was really like a soldier who was going to the battle to even ready to die also. One time, when he got a severe chest pain, devotees asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, you want to go back to India, to Vrindavan or something? Because you are feeling not so healthy. Prabhupada said, I will die preaching in America, he said, fulfilling the order of my spiritual master. And if I die, you can bury my body in Manhattan in the rooftop of one building in Manhattan, New York. In case I die in America, you can bury me. At least history will say that I died preaching for my Guru, on the order of my Guru. That was his conviction. So you can see 3 levels I told you. One is I me mind centered in prayers. That's what most world is now. Correct, no? And the second level is adopting Shreyas. In your own personal life, some boys say that, Prabhuji, I want to marry a good devotee girl. मैं भी devotee, वो भी devotee, बच्चे भी devotee. घर में एक altar बना लेंगे, घंटी बजाएंगे, पूजा करेंगे, प्रसाद पाएंगे, सो जाएंगे. Some people are saying like that. That is second level. That means, I will take care of my spiritual life and my family members' spiritual life, and I want to go back to Godhead. But the third level is what we are talking here, like this tree. Pranair, Arthair, Diya, Vacha. You are not satisfied with yourself becoming Krishna conscious. Janma Sardaka Kori Kara. See, my Guru Maharaj used to say one story. One man was planting in the garden, and one goat came and said, can I eat some leaves? He said, hey, don't eat, don't eat. He said, one man came and asked, can I cut some branches? He said, where is branch? It's a small plant. Don't cut, don't cut, he said. So an old lady came and said, oh, this plant. This is a medicinal plant. Can I pluck some leaves? He said, hey, don't pluck, don't pluck, he said. So he sent them all away. And then he put it and he watered it. He put fence, he gave sunlight, he gave gobar, manure, everything. Then 4 or 5 years later, that plant grew into a big tree. Then he called the old lady and said, now you can pluck as much as you want. And he told that man, now you can cut if you want some branches. Then told the goat, now you eat now, no problem. Because the tree had grown very big. By these people plucking or cutting the branch or taking the leaf, the tree is not going to be diminished. So if you observe the tree, as a plant, it was taking in, taking in, taking in. Later on, it was giving out, giving out, giving out. Similarly, all of you, when you come to Krishna consciousness, first 2 3 years, you take in, taking. Like when you are in the first year, devotees brought some cookies, badushe, some Mysore pak, something they'll bring. You take cookies, badushe, and then you chant the holy name. You take knowledge from them, take care from them, and some of the mentors even help you for getting guidance in your academic subjects also. Take help, correct? No? They're taking care of your mindset. They're taking care of your, things. And then you in the first year you may be taking in. Then when you come here, you become little more mature here. Then you almost stand on your own leg. When you come into the center, just like a small newborn baby, if you see, drinks breast milk, sleeps, he eats and sleeps. That's all, correct? No, and then it slowly starts growing up. Then he starts getting up. Then he starts walking. Then child doesn't need the mother's, help to walk. He's able to walk. And some children at the age of 5 or 7, or at the age of 8, even they can go to a nearby shop and buy something and come. Correct, no? They become mature. And when they become 12, 13, they can even drive bike, and they can go to school, college on their own. Correct, no? They become self-reliant, we call it. And when they become, like you all have become 18, now you can even drive a car also. You can become trained in driving a car, you go to the school, you go even abroad, you can go all over the world now. You've grown up. Correct, no? And then what you do, then you get a job, you earn money, then you take care of parents, correct, no? Parents have done so much for you. Build a bigger house for them. Many of the boys actually who come from very poor backgrounds, later on they became very big business magnates and they did great things for their parents, correct, no? Yeah. And then you may also do some great thing for the world also, correct, no? So that means initially you take in, later on you give out. So that means the contribution. You are not just all the time taking in, correct? No? Imagine if a boy is 25-year-old but is still wearing diaper. People will say, what is this? What kind of boy are you? That means he must be mad, correct? No? So we are supposed to grow up and do something great. And that is the third level. The first level is to be stuck in prayers. Second level is to come to understand shares for oneself. But third is to understand the importance of Shreyas. And like, as Mahaprabhu said, Janma Sarthaka Kori Kara Paropakar. And we can see from Prabhupada's example how he did Paropakar. Lord Chaitanya called Nityananda and Haridas Thakur. They are the first preaching partners. Nityananda Haridas. Go out. And he said, go street to street, door to door. So ours is called as the door to door movement. Go and bat at the door. Give people Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Karo Krishna, Shiksha. Chant Krishna's name, study Gita Bhagavatam, and worship Krishna. Correct, no? So you will see that in this way, Mahaprabhu did it, and Goswamis also. They gave up big, big posts and positions as finance minister, home minister, and they had one boat full of gold coins. They gave it all up. They became mendicants in Vrindavan, and then studying all the Vedic literature and extracting the essence, writing books, establishing temples, installing deities, worshipping the deities, teaching Krishna consciousness, staying under different trees and leading a pure spiritual life, opulence for Krishna, poverty for oneself. Correct, no? So they also did that. Following them in our Guru Parampara, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktivedanta Thakur, all Gauri Babaji, and ultimately our Prabhupada. You see, such a shining example. What Prabhupada did, the miracle which went all over the world, not an ordinary thing. So Prabhupada actually, so I have made one PPT which I spoke. Dheeraj Prabhu can tell you where I spoke this. There was this one.
It is there in the website. They can use.
Huh?
It is there in the website. They can use.
Is
For the time being, the money will not be used for the construction.
Yeah, sorry.
The money will not be used for the construction in Mayapur. It will be used to print books.
Mayapur, they have already taken 1.5 lakh from me.
Now, Gopal Krishna in India requested that BBT give him a loan of $160,000. In India, just this during the Mayapur festival, he requested a loan from a US BBT for $160,000, which would be used to construct the second residence building.
How will pay back?
His plan was that the American temples would purchase rooms, and over a period of 4 or 5 years, they would pay that money back. So is that still approved by you, by your divine grace?
Yes, I have known that.
The only thing is that we will have to delay the loan, because for the next 3 months, all our money will be used to print these 17 books.
Castable books, then loan. However, we cannot hold up printing, that is not possible. This you must always keep in view. We are not going to, the surplus money we are going to pay. Not that at the cost of stopping printing. You must always keep it. When you require money for printing, there is no question of loan or temple bill. This will be our.
Actually, first he granted the loan. But when he said that if you are going to give the loan, then printing has to be delayed, what he said? First of all books. Correct, no? So you can see. So I spoke these things in one place. It's there, what is the name of the lecture, man? There's
Books, I forgot. It's the same of PPT only.
no, the same PPT. Vishal Nagar I spoke or where I spoke?
Madhapur.
Huh? Madhapur. Same one I spoke for the students. You don't know the name, correct? No?
No. In Hyderabad, you spoke about Vaisheshika disability, and this you spoke in
Okay.
Brahmachari class recently.
Yeah, correct.
I'll share the link.
This is another video. There are many videos inbuilt in this. Very, very special.
Personal qualification, but I simply tried to satisfy my Guru. That's all. My Guru Maharaj asked me that if you get some money, you print books. And if you get some money, print books. Therefore I am stressing on this point. Where is book? Where is book? Where is book? So kindly help me. This is my request. Print as many books in as many languages and distribute throughout the whole world. Then Krishna consciousness of man will automatically increase.
Here, I'll show you this really quick because you're running. Look. Henry David Thoreau, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Mahatma Gandhi, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Albert Einstein, they all studied this book. It's thousands of years old in French and German. This has become the most popular in the universities. And here it is in a nutshell.
Prabhupada encouraged us to distribute his books.
And Srila Prabhupada, with his infinite compassion and kindness to every living being, he translated the Srimad Bhagavatam for us.
This activity of book printing and distribution his Brihad Mridanga.
But he also gave us the opportunity to help.
So Prabhupada encouraged us to distribute these books because these books contain knowledge given by the Supreme Lord and the great Acharyas. And these books have saved countless living entities and will continue to guide and save humanity from destruction.
He's personally present. He has taken the commentaries of all the previous acharyas of our whole parampara and own love, in his own infinite compassion, he's manifesting all the realizations of all of the great acharyas or gurus throughout history and put them in his purports.
Distributing Prabhupada's books is the highest welfare activity one can perform. The whole world today is suffering for lack of Krishna consciousness, and the knowledge contained in these books can save humanity from going to hell.
In a way that the people of this world could actually connect and receive that divine grace.
So I humbly want to request everyone to please enthusiastically take part in this most important service. It does not matter whether you're brahmachari or grihastha or vanaprastha or sannyas. Our family business is to take part in preaching, and Prabhupada said preaching is the essence and books are the basis. Preaching means getting people to read these books. Krishna is situated in everyone's heart as a Paramatma. When he sees that we have the sincere desire to please the previous acharyas and our Guru, he gives us the intelligence by which we can do this service. There are unlimited conditioned souls just waiting for an ISKCON devotee to come and give them the Srila Prabhupada book.
So at this time there is a great effort, and with this effort a great blessing.
Personal qualification.
See, children say, my mother. When mother becomes old, they say, your mother, see. Actually, because generally when you are young, we don't know. When we get old, you understand we all have to fly our own plane. Correct, no? So many karmi books are there on reincarnation. They also have found out, but they have no solution. But in Bhagavad Gita we have. These guys are telling, people know there is something called soul beyond the body, but they don't know what to do with that knowledge. You see? See, life without Krishna, life with Krishna, you see? Ekeha Gurunandana. You want Ekeha Gurunandana or Bahushaka Hyananta? See, anybody goes through Bhagavad Gita, all these drunkards going through Bhagavad Gita, they're coming out as great saintly persons, see? Correct, no? Yeah. See, this is a Pune little girl from congregation. Smiling Manjari reaches her Prabhupada books easily. Huh? So she's distributing Prabhupada books, plenty of books. She's the ripe mango, you see? He's friendly customer. Yesterday also one boy purchased 3-4 books. Huh? Sometimes. And this is an unripe customer, see? आप लोग क्यों टेप लगाया? See, you should do kirtan. Distributing book and pass.
Okay. How about I give you $30? And how can I pay you?
We will read them gratefully. Now this boy is regularly coming now.
So these are the synonyms, and this is their translation. We also have purports, So this is a really good book for yoga. One of our best books.
Cool. Yeah.
Do you know who this is? This is Krishna, and this person is Bowman, right? He's Arjuna. So Krishna and Arjuna are friends, but though Krishna is actually God, still he's driving the chariot for his friend, who is not a god.
Oh, that's cool.
It's very cool, right?
What is this?
And this is a storybook, finally.
The best ones.
So you can see the set. So I wrote this canto, and before I can finish all the 18 books, so he made a quick copy of just the overlook of the 10th canto.
Okay.
So you know Krishna's body, Krishna's face, Krishna's hands. So of it is just Krishna's face, right? Because that's what really attracts us, the smiling face. So he thought that I may not be able to finish the face. So he just wrote this book.
Pretty cool. Interesting. Perfect. You want a gift? You too. Thank you for listening.
Good reading to find out the 4 actions.
Tell you, sir. She's managing. How she's managing, isn't it? A little child. Amazing, no? I have also shown Antadi Prabhu. See, this Antadi Prabhu came recently to America, but 17 days he was there. See, the University of Cincinnati has put a book table. Huh? See, this University of Cincinnati. Our Pune temple, we are connecting to Cincinnati now. Other temples, Kanpur is going to focus on Philadelphia. Like that, we have given different places to different people. So, see here, he's putting a book table. For 7 days, he put books on yoga, meditation, philosophy. And boys also. He has made, in 17 days, he got 165 books. 165 people who purchased books. In that, you will see UG, Masters, PhD. That also East-West, American boys, Indian boys categorized, you see. See, he has got, these are all boys after DYS. He has got all the names of these are UG East boys, these are East girls, and these are Western boys and girls together. 3 categories he made. And then these are the names, the cream, serious youths, ready for a weekly program now. Can you imagine? Yeah. See? Now 3 classes are going on separately. Indian boys separate, Indian girls separate. For Indian girls, there is one Mataji who takes. Now he has taken them for the...
Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
See, when we talk about the person, we should have a head and heart. How many of you like people who have a head?
They are very enthusiastic to come. They have finished all devices, now they are doing game course now.
Do you feel a person will have a head?
Hello everyone.
Wants to know your age. After 1 month I will be 80. 80 years. I was born in 1896. Now you can calculate.
What will happen to the movement in the United States when you die?
I will never die. I shall live for my books and he will utilize.
See, this is University of Texas, UT. Very special because this is the place where it's called as Turtle Pond, where our His Holiness Tamalakshmi Maharaj and Vishnu Maharaj have done kirtan. Similar type of program they have done before. So it's considered a holy place. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
They go and read and they start coming for the weekly program.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Rama Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Many of them are Westerners, you saw, na? Many of them are Westerners. Huh? But to go to America to preach, you need to be a man of very high character. Because one can easily fall prey to illicit sex in America. Here itself you cannot control. You are not fit to go there. Correct, na? If somebody is here itself is like a lusty dog. Huh? If he goes there, 100% you can give a bond, he will fall down. Huh? It's very dangerous. Even people of high character can fall. Huh? So one has to be very careful. You can see all these boys and girls, they are so sincere. You know, they have purchased Prabhupada's book. Now, so in Texas is the one we are connecting to Hyderabad. From Hyderabad, Vaishnav is going to stay there 2 months in University of Texas. So in Texas, there are 3 centers. One American Boys Center, one American Girls Center, and one Indian Boys Center. And Indian Boys Center is right next to the temple. And the American Boys Center, American Girls Center is right opposite to college. It's like that. So there are 2-3 brahmacharis also who have come there. Not brahmacharis, GS boys who are going to join there full time eventually now. So they are going to make the ashram there. And Vaishnav Prabhu will stay 2 months, and then our Mahaprabhu Chaitanya Prabhu will stay 2 months in a year. So in Texas center. And they have to preach to all these people also. So they were saying, Americans, how do we preach? But Americans also become devotees. We want to increase this number. But why did I show this video? You will see Prabhupada's legacy is continuing. It's not that many organizations start and stop. After the leader is gone, it's finished. But Prabhupada has thousands of people, his followers, who will continue it all over the world. You will see that. So Prabhupada ki Jai. Thank you very much. So you all understood the difference between Shreyas prayers right now? Yeah. Quick. When I'm winding up, I can take one question. Who? If you raise a hand, we want to give it to boys first, and then take it. Prabhuji always has some nice question. Yes. Yes, any knuckle boy has a question. If you don't ask a question, you have to give 1 point from the class, one takeaway from the class. All knuckle devotees, one takeaway. Quickly, you tell me. Quick. Yeah? Whoever is ready, give the mic to them. What is 1 point you remember from the class? Yeah. Go ahead.
That you have explained how you have explained that Krishna, then how God's creation and human's creation are the big difference. So means that how God's creation is extremely selfless. Means don't anything God's waste.
Correct.
Unlike human creation always do destruction.
Yeah. Good. Thank you. That's how we began. Very good. And then anybody else? Any knuckle devotee?
You gave example of the man who planting a small tree, plant, and when plant is small, first it take everything. Then when it becomes big, it gives to
contribution. Very good. From that plant, what do we learn in our lives? What do we learn?
First, we take knowledge and everything. Then we have to distribute.
Then so duty to distribute. Therefore, when you come to third year, we teach mentoring. Right now, we have FTech, MTech courses. Then you should start giving. Then by the time you come to fourth year, you should give DYS seminars. Then when you pass out, you should go and open a center somewhere. And then develop a center. Then that's how our organization will grow. If everybody is just taking it till last breath, they are taking it. Then can movement grow? Cannot grow, correct, no? Thank you. And then? Yeah. And there, mic there? Yeah. Okay, here.
The story of a cat who catches the tree to tolerate the pain of hunger, and he doesn't leave the tree while a person was
the man. It was not a cat. Is it? The man only. Man, yeah.
Sorry.
Yes. It was a man who was holding on to the tree with his belly to tolerate. To deal with the hunger. He was not ready to leave the tree to accept the murmura. Correct, no? Yeah. So from that, what did you learn from the story?
Similarly, we have to give up the lower tendencies of to continue spiritual life seriously.
You are telling in a very mild and very indirect manner. I told in a very blunt and direct manner. Anybody remembers that? Yes?
So we have to give up our sex desires and sense gratification.
Illicit. Actually, if we can give up this sex desire and focus on higher taste of Krishna consciousness, you will become 100 times more empowered. You can do wonderful things, powerful things. But there's one thing which we are attached to is wetting the consciousness. Wetting consciousness is like sprinkling water in firewood.
Prajay, I have one question. Prajay, what is one easy step to go from I, me, mind to the third level of the tree?
Actually, one of the easiest ways to do this is to see devotees who are in the third level and then accompany them. Go with them. Like somebody is going for preaching, you go for assisting in preaching. Somebody is distributing books, you go for assisting in distributing. Yesterday, 2 boys came to the table and they distributed books. Who was that? They're here? He distributed a big book yesterday. SSR. Yeah. And who was the other one who was singing also with me? What are the names? Anay and? Yeah, for Anay and Omkar, it was the first experience yesterday. One Haribol for them. So they took initiative. They took out the time and came. So you can ask their experience when they distribute. Even if not many books go, by that endeavor, you make progress. You make a lot of. It's like, if you're pushing a stone to take it up the hill, even if your stone didn't go up, your biceps develop. Similarly, your conviction will increase in Krishna consciousness. Krishna is very pleased with you. Right now? Yes. He had a point.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, I like the point you shared that the living entities in the world are compared to a fish living in a small puddle, and it is a prayers, means it is a shanik sukha, and devotees are like jump from this small puddle of water into the river, which is compared to voice, and which leads to ocean, back to God.
Very good, Haribo. Exactly, precisely said that. Very nice. Good. Very good point. Then, anyone else? Wasn't spoken yet. Any other knuckle left? Any knuckle devotees left? Yeah. Yes.
You said that either you follow, either you don't follow and partially follow the rules, regulation, and advice. This result is same. If you don't follow all, or you partially follow, like you chat on with the other sex in chatting, then the result is same. Either you live in out of voice, or live in voice with that all bad habits.
So, although you're getting some spiritual benefits in living in voice, it's like lighting fire, pouring water. Lighting fire, pouring water. Then, in essence, what have we done? Huh? So, therefore, one should be very alert to not break the regulative principles. Because those who follow the four regulative principles and do chanting and practice spiritual life, they progress, light years ahead. But those who are going to be careless and not cautious, they drag along, and that is why spiritual life becomes very strugglesome. Thank you. Very important point. Yes.
Hare Krishna, I like the point that you share about how the man-made things are are just useless and just
What
create
did I
the mess,
compare
big
man-made
mess.
things and God-made things? Yeah. Yashoda Mata.
We are just smart idiots, you see. Just like and between the Hawaii and the Japan, there is a ocean of a plastic which create the microplastic, and which spread the numerical diseases in the brain,
and this is going to affect the brain of even the fellows who did it also.
Yes.
Not only the other people involved. That is why it is considered foolishness, isn't it?
And you give the example of
it's like sitting in a branch of a tree and cutting the same branch. Like that.
And you give the example of the Lord creation, like a banana. If you eat a banana and you give the chilka to the cow will eat it and give the gobar and milk. And gobar is also used for the fuel
Again,
combustion and
yeah.
for many medicines
Yes.
and khat also.
Haribo. Very good point. Then, now here behind, just behind you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. You have shared a story of the blind man who is running towards the ocean, and some people are pulling his shirts, and they are also running behind him. Just similarly, the modern education is like that. We all are running towards a blind man.
And then all are preparing to fall into the ocean. So what we should do? So, although he said give a tight slap, we give a tight slap by giving them a book. Correct, no? It's not a very cruel thing. If you give them a book, in case they take the book and they read, then they'll wake up. Sometimes when you read Prabhupada's book, you will be a little pained in the beginning. Hey, what is the Swami saying? Rascal is saying. So we don't have to give slap. Prabhupada will give. And that's a pure devotee slap. Correct, no? So, and at the same time, Prabhupada has made many people into devotees, because there was one man who came to Prabhupada's class. He was wearing jeans and t-shirt, and his hair was flowing so long below the knee. And he was a hippie, long hair. He was standing at the door entrance. Prabhupada was giving lecture. Prabhupada looked at him and said, "You may be rich, you may be millionaire, you may be billionaire, but what is the use of your life if you don't become Krishna conscious? Next life, you can become a dog or a cat," like the Prabhupada said. So, and that boy was amazed, because he was actually a millionaire, coming from a millionaire family. And he thought Prabhupada was telling me only. He thought. And then immediately surrendered to Prabhupada and became initiated. His name is Mahabuddhi Prabhu. In ISKCON. So, Prabhupada was very honest and frank, and he was very concerned about saving the suffering souls. Very good point. Thank you. Anybody left the knuckle group? Yeah. Yes. Full?
Hare Krishna. Scientists said that after that body is destroyed, but this life for us, they will prepare this next life.
Correct. Who said that? That what is the professor's name from Russia? One is it Kotowski. Prabhupada, wherever he traveled, he said this. Look at this fellow. He's heading a Department of Religious Studies with no knowledge. Huh? Thank you. Yeah.
One point I get emotional is that Srila Prabhupada said, I will never die. I will live forever through my books. And I request all of you, please help me to distribute this.
Exactly. Haribo. Very heart-touching thing it is. Exactly. Because Prabhupada is still preaching through his books. So we have to reach Prabhupada's books to others. Anybody else? Who left any? Nakul left? All Nakul devotees are covered? Cool. Somebody is left. There is one devotee there, smiling silently. Yes. Yeah. Yes, Prabhupada.
Prabhuji, you said that point, if we are living in the vice but not following the Krishna consciousness with wholeheartedly, it is similar to the not following anything. If we don't live here and live, both are the same. We have to follow the Krishna consciousness very wholeheartedly.
Yes.
Yes.
Very good. I think 3-4 students have picked up that point very nicely. Huh? Very good. See, one fellow never went to forest and cut wood and brought. He never brought firewood. Another fellow cut and brought firewood, but he's sprinkling water. Another fellow, we saw rainy season is coming, clouds are in the sky. So what he did? He took all the firewood and kept inside, loaded inside. So who is the most intelligent? Third one. Correct? Huh? So we have to prevent ourselves from the onslaught of the breakage of 4 relative principles all around us. Actually, every one of you boys, you have to be so strong in spiritual life. Even if a woman comes and proposes to you, come, let's enjoy, you should tell her, first I'll put my foot in Goloka, Buloka to Goloka. Then we will see, not now. Just like Haridas Thakur said, no? First I'll finish my rounds, he said. So we need to be that much strong. Nowadays people are characterless. Both men and women, both are characterless. Dogs are walking on 4 legs, they are walking on 2 legs, that's all. That is the only difference. They call Dvipada Pashu. So your training here should bring you to a point where you are so stable in spiritual life. But on the other hand, if you are chasing after somebody, how shameful it is after this training. Think about it. What is the meaning of this training? This training in knowledge should translate into practical action. Correct? No? We should become pure, stable. Then only we will advance in spiritual life. Otherwise, we will be dragging along. Little Ajnana Sukruti will get. It's like, you can advance 1,000 count, but if you're not following the principles, you advance only 10 count or 20 count. You don't progress very fast. How many of you want to progress very fast? Yeah. Therefore, we have to implement these things. And then we read that famous verse, Pranair, Arthair, Diya, Vacha, isn't it? Pranair means give your life, means like brahmachari sannyasis. If you can give your life, it's best. If you cannot, I cannot Sheva, I cannot join full time. Okay, then Arthair. And at least give your money to support. Like Prabhupada was supporting when he was a Grihastha. Correct, no? In all Prabhupada's purpose, Prabhupada says, give 50% of your earning. He says, people will faint if they hear that. I generally tell people at least 10% you should give away to preaching activities. And then Arthair. Because Prabhupada knows that those who don't become full time, for them most dear is money. So at least you give money. That is also sacrifice. And third is intelligence. With your intelligence, come up with plans to expand ISKCON movement. Come and give ideas. How? I know one contact, I'll take you, they will give land, they will give money, they'll give this. Use your intelligence to expand the movement. If you cannot do any of these three, at least, pass a good word of mouth. ISKCON acha, aap log jao. Kam se kam wo karo. Shri Prabhupada ki